Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back. I know I have taken a long break off of YouTube, and that is simply because I had my little boy. He's currently in the bouncer right beside me. I will introduce him in this video, but this video is the birth vlog and leading up to my birth. So if you're interested, then please be sure to stick around. If you're not, then I guess I'll see you in the next video. But yeah, if you're interested in knowing anything about me and my pregnancy, I have had a journey and I have filmed it all on my channel, so please be sure to check out those videos. If you are pregnant, it's really informative. I know that if I get pregnant again, I will be looking back at my old videos to compare the difference, but we will just head straight into this video because it might be a long one. So yeah. I didn't actually film week 40 of my pregnancy, and that was simply because I was in a lot of pain. Now, as some of you who have been watching my videos know, I did swell up a lot, so I was very swollen with water retention. I was in and out of hospital because my blood pressure was high and the swelling was obviously not normal, so they thought I had preeclampsia, but I didn't. But they still needed to keep an eye on it because preeclampsia can come on really sudden, and with the other symptoms that I was having, it was a sign of preeclampsia. Luckily I didn't have that, so that was all good, but they wanted to keep an eye on it. If I keep looking down, it's because little man is beside me here. I didn't want to film my week 40. I just took that week and relaxed, and obviously I was kind of stressed out because I thought he was going to come early, but he didn't. He actually ended up being 2 days late, so he was born on the 4th of May. My due date was the 2nd, and I had, although I was really sore body wise, like I was just aching everywhere because he was so heavy, and although I had those symptoms, I didn't have the contractions that I was having before. I literally felt like my pregnancy was never going to end because everything had stopped and I had no signs that labour was coming on. So I woke up on Monday the 3rd of May, and I was talking away to my cousin Emma, and I was just telling her, like, I literally feel like this is never going to end. And then I started getting some cramps, which just felt like period cramps. They were really not sore at all, they were just normal cramps, and kind of like cramps that if you feel constipated, that type of cramps. And so I was like, right, I might as well just go to the toilet and see if I can flush my system out before I have a baby, just in case he came. And I got out of bed and my waters broke. And I want to explain that, how it felt, because I know a lot of people don't explain that, and it literally felt like a pop and a lot of water gushed out of me. Like, I was not expecting so much to come out, and it just did not stop. It went all over the carpet, all over my pajamas, like it went everywhere. And I went to the toilet and it just was not stopping, and I was like, what did I do? Like, I was in the house myself because my boyfriend was working, and I was just like, oh my god, like, what did I do? Freaking out. So I think the first person I texted was Emma, because obviously I was already talking to her, and then I texted my mum, and then she said you should probably text your midwife, so I texted my midwife and told her, and she rang me and she says, I didn't need to rush to eat before coming into the hospital, but I still needed to go in, obviously. So my waters broke at 11:30 in the morning. I ended up in hospital then at 1:30 because Kevin had to get out of work. That's my boyfriend, by the way. He had to get out of work to take me to hospital. And then I went into hospital and I didn't have any cramps or anything. I felt fine. They checked how dilated I was. I was at a 3, so I wasn't actually in active labour. In the area that I live, active labour is when you get to 4 centimetres, so I obviously wasn't at 4 centimetres. So I wasn't able to go to labour and delivery. I had to stay in the other bit before that. I don't know what it's called. Triage, that's what it's called. So I was in there and they gave me food. I barely ate anything. I ate like a couple of mouthfuls of cabbage. I just was not hungry. The contractions started coming on and they were strong. To be honest, it's really hard to explain because I can't remember it fully, but I just know that it was a lot of pain down in my abdomen, and it was just so sore. It wasn't anything I experienced before, that's for sure. And I wouldn't. A lot of people say it's like period cramps. It's not. It's definitely not. It's a lot worse than that. It is intense, and so my midwife then ran me a bath. I got into the bath and it was the worst thing I had done. A lot of people say it relieves pain, but I had a lot of pain in my back as well because he ended up being facing the wrong way. So he was a lot of my pain was in my back. And so lying in the bath was not helping at all. It actually caused a lot more pain than just sitting up or being like not in the bath. So I did try the gas and air. That was disgusting. I did not like that at all. I near boat. So I says no, I don't want that. That's horrible. So then the pain started increasing. Well, actually it wasn't increasing, it was the same pain throughout, but it was just coming on a lot faster, and I felt like I wasn't getting a break, especially in my back. My back was so sore. So I pulled the emergency thing so I could get out of the bath because I did not want to be in there. And I got out of the bath. I then got checked to see how many centimetres I was, and I was at a 5. So I went into labour and delivery and started then. I said I wanted the epidural, but they ended up giving me diamorphine, and that actually helped a lot. I was able to sleep. It was the best thing that I had, to be honest. I had 2 shots of that throughout my whole labour. I don't remember much of it because it literally just makes you feel really drunk in a way and tired, and it's literally the best feeling. So I didn't need the epidural or anything, and I went the full 10 centimetres to then find out that he was facing the wrong way, and obviously he couldn't come out, so I ended up having a section in the end. So I know it was a lot, and like going through all that labour and then having an emergency section in the end. And I got the spinal needle in my back. Obviously that numbed everything. I felt absolutely amazing. I had the section and everything was grand with me, but little man ended up getting TTN, which is something that babies get when they are delivered through a section. And basically what that is when the baby breathes faster than the normal breathing rate for a baby. So he was breathing between 60 to 90 breaths in 1 minute instead of 30 to 50 breaths in a minute. So he then had to be transferred to a different hospital into the neonatal unit in Altnagalvin, which is up in Derry, where he was put on a drip, a feeding tube. He didn't need any oxygen or anything, he was fine that way, but they obviously had to check his heart rate and his temperature, make sure he was feeding good and stuff, and he stayed in there for three nights. I was in hospital the first night, and then I got discharged the day after my section, which was pretty early, but I felt like I wanted to go home because I wanted to go see my baby, because obviously we were in 2 different hospitals. I didn't see him. He was put on my chest for a second when he was delivered, and then he was wheeled into my room before he left for the transmission up to the other hospital. So I didn't get to hold him or anything very much, obviously just whenever he came out. I got some skin to skin before he left, but not a lot, and I was quite sad about that. So I did get discharged the day after. I then went up to Derry and saw him. We were able to stay for a little while. Then we came home, and obviously we came home without our baby, and it was so heartbreaking. My boyfriend cried. It didn't hit me because obviously I was still drugged up from the diamorphine and obviously going through everything, and when you've gone through everything you kind of forget everything, and you don't really have, it doesn't really hit you, so it didn't hit me until we got him home. But anyway, so the next day we got a phone call to come up to Altnagalvin, and they gave us a bedroom. They have these bedrooms for parents that have babies in the neonatal unit, for if parents live far, like we live an hour away from Derry, like we don't live close, and obviously I had a section, so it was really painful for me to be in the car, because our roads are really bad. They've got loads of potholes and stuff, and it's really painful. So they allowed us to stay a night, and they said that he could go home the next day, but he didn't feed. He fed really bad that night basically, and he went over 5 hours of not feeding. So we had to stay another night, which was annoying because obviously when you're in a hospital, you know that the air was really stuffing us up basically, and it was just like really annoying. But obviously for the health of our baby, we obviously stayed, and he did amazing the next day. He fed really well, and something that I haven't mentioned yet is I am breastfeeding. I had to start out with the breast shield because he was not latching on, and it's only recently that I have been able to get him to latch on. I'm still in between the breast, the nipple shield, but today is the day that I decided, right, I'm going to try not use a nipple shield even when he is fussy, to try and just latch on and not stress out, because obviously the baby can then feel your stress and get stressed out himself. So yeah, then we got home the next day and we brought him home, and he was feeling great. He has been great ever since. He is growing a big boy. He was born at 8 pounds 6, so he was a big baby. Well, for me he was a big baby because I'm a tiny person. I'm 5'4" and I'm really skinny. So I am tiny and petite. So he was big for me. He got weighed last Wednesday by the health visitor, and he was weighing at 9 pounds 6. So he is growing really well. He is 3 weeks today. I don't know when this video is going up, but this is Tuesday the 25th of May. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to edit this video, because obviously I have a newborn and it's really hard to find time to like do things like even this video. I haven't had time to do it until now. But yeah, so he's a big boy, and I'm going to show you him, and I'm also going to reveal his name. A lot of people will probably already know his name because of my Instagram and Facebook, because a lot of you already know me as in person. But yeah, I will show you him now. This is my baby. This is little Ash. That's his name. We decided on calling him Ash. Now obviously he's a bit fussy. Sometimes he's fussy, sometimes he's not. He's a great wee baby. He doesn't cry much, only when he's cold, obviously, as all babies are cry when they're cold. But I'll try show you a full shot of him. So this is him. I will stand up. Might be better. He's a little cutie pie and he is growing so big and he's just perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story on my birth experience. It was a little crazy, to say the least. Something that I completely forgot to mention is my whole labour and delivery was perfect, apart from one part that I felt was the most traumatic part, and that was when the doctor tried to turn his head, because obviously I could feel him trying to turn it and it was really painful. So that was the most traumatic part about the whole experience. But labour in itself is not as bad as everybody else says it is. The pain is the same the whole way through, it just increases in time, so it comes more often, but it's really not that bad. So my advice is get diamorphine, because it's amazing, and you won't need the epidural. Obviously if I had got the epidural I wouldn't have needed the spinal for the C-section, but I do recommend it before you decide to get the epidural, because obviously then you won't be able to feel anything, and I know that's the reason why people get the epidural, is they don't want to feel anything, but I did. Yeah, it was great. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. I will show you my postpartum side. I will be filming all that shortly, and they will be going up on my videos, so if you're interested, then subscribe, turn notifications on. It'll give you a notification next time I upload a video, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.